What we have learned so far has shown us that we can use Pythagorean theorem, a squared plus b squared is equal to c squared, when we have two sides of a right triangle and we want the third side. Then we talked about special right triangles, 45, 45, 90, and 30, 60, 90 triangles. And what that enabled us to do is we could have one side and then we could know the angles, right? We could know either 45, 45, or we could know 30, 60, 90. And then we would be able to find two sides. So we could do that knowing one side, but we had to know something about the angles. And so the point that we're about to go into, we're going to start studying trigonometry. And to do that, what it enables us to do is trig enables us to be able to find missing sides or angles. So we can find missing sides given one side and one angle. Or we can find an angle given two sides. So this is the first opportunity that we've had to find angles. So we're going to start really basic, and the first thing that we want to understand is just vocabulary. What are the sides of a triangle so that when we use it with trig, we will know how to categorize things and what sides do we need to use. So first, we have the opposite side, adjacent side, and hypotenuse. And by the end of this lesson, you'll be able to know which side is the opposite side, which side is the adjacent side, and which side is the hypotenuse, so that we can use it later to solve trig problems. So first, the opposite side. The opposite side is the side that is across from the given angle. Just like if somebody is opposite, they're on the opposite side of the room, they are across. So if this is our given angle, theta, if our given angle is right here, this corner, if that is our theta, then opposite would be BC. So it is the other side. Notice that AB and AC make up the angle, and BC is the side that doesn't make the angle. It doesn't form that corner. So BC is the opposite. So we would label it with an O. Adjacent means beside. So it is the side beside the given angle. But here's one caveat, it's not the hypotenuse. If you'll look in this particular case, we have theta again, and I have two sides that are beside that angle theta. I have AB and I have OC. Well, OC is the adjacent side. We've talked about hypotenuse already, so we know which side is the hypotenuse. We've got AC. AC is our adjacent side, so we label it with an A. The hypotenuse is the longest side of the right triangle. And it is across from or opposite of the right angle. So you want to find that right angle. There's your right angle. And AB in this case is opposite of your right angle. So it is the hypotenuse. Now the hypotenuse is the only one that is defined by the right angle. Everything else is defined by the angle that you were given, the other acute angle that you were given. So we can go back and add this little acute, right? It's across from the given acute angle, or it's beside the given acute angle, if we go back and add that little piece in there. And then the hypotenuse is the only one that's across from the right angle. So that's the only one we care about on the right angle. So we're just going to practice today labeling and recognizing O and A and H. So if this is my given angle, what I want us to do is I want us to label the sides with O for opposite, A for adjacent, and H for hypotenuse. So if you have that angle right there, I think it is easiest to start with the hypotenuse. Get it out of the way, that way you don't make any mistakes. So start with locating the hypotenuse. Even if you don't need it later in the problems, it's helpful to still find it. So the hypotenuse, remember the hypotenuse, you find the right angle, and it's the side that's across from the right angle. So this side is the hypotenuse. Now, everything else is based off that acute angle that was highlighted, that I highlighted in yellow. And so what we need to do is we need to find our opposite. So this is the side that is opposite that yellow angle, and this is the side that is adjacent to that yellow angle. Same thing. We have our right angle. We use our right angle to locate our hypotenuse. I always locate my hypotenuse first. Then, based on the angle that you have, which in this case, I have this angle right here. So if I want to know how everything is related to that angle, then my O and my H, my O and my A, my opposite and my adjacent, this side is opposite and this side is adjacent. So, in summary then, we have three sides of our right triangle. We have our hypotenuse, which is defined by the right angle. And then we have our opposite and our adjacent sides, and those are defined by your acute angle that you were given. And whether they're opposite or acute depends on how the sides are related to the angle that you were given. And I always find the hypotenuse first, just because it makes it so that you don't make a mistake and label the hypotenuse